You're listening to the Flipping Fantastic podcast with Mo and Amy.
All this
But
current
yeah,
events
so
going on.
so
Mhm.
basically doom and gloom is apparently we should have a doom and gloom we're gonna have to put a doom and gloom thumbnail up because apparently that's what's getting the clicks because when you look at the big names, Dave and Kevin,
Yeah,
that is their thumbnails
true.
lately. Like I said, I haven't really watched anything lately, just haven't been there, but um
Mhm.
I do like get pop-ups and notifications and stuff, you know what I mean, for people that I usually normally watch, and I look at the thumbnails and I'm like, "Oh,
I know.
Kevin's quitting eBay
But
again today?"
oh,
Like he's been quitting eBay for like I haven't watched any of them, but he's been quitting eBay for like a month.
he's quitting and going straight to Commons and District or in
Yeah.
Did it. He's done. No, I don't. I'm not. That's not true. I'm just
I
saying.
know. I don't think
Off
in
to a new
this like
platform.
in this how it's going now, like you want to go to more platforms, not less. And eBay's
Right.
still on is the biggest one. How are your
Yeah.
sales? My sales have I'm still consistently at least 1 to 2 a day at the moment, and I didn't
That's
list
good.
anything this weekend, but I did have a
Uh-huh.
decent weekend.
That's good.
I mean,
What
I'm
was
not
your
selling
best
any
thing that
I
you
didn't
sold
sell
this
anything
weekend?
big, huh?
What was the best thing you sold? What do you like in your opinion?
Nothing great.
Some
I don't even remember what I've sold. I only sold like a $10 thing that has to go out today. I
yeah,
sold It's one of these. I,
like
I
some
wish I had found. It's one of these things like you push the buttons. It's an addition table. This one's an addition table, but they have multiplication tables. Multiplication table. 1 through 10, 1 through 10, and then the
yeah.
answers. And this one's an addition one. And when you push the button, you see the answer through it. Like the answers aren't on there. Do you know what I mean? Like you push it and you can see it. It's like a
It's
big plastic
electronic
thing.
or like analog
No,
thing?
no. It's just a big plastic thing for like preschool or kindergarten or something.
Oh,
But
okay.
but
You sold that
I sold that
this
for like
weekend?
$10.
Mhm.
If you find, I mean, it's fine bread and butter. I only paid like $1. I paid maybe $1 for it. I don't know. The
Mhm.
but if you find, I think the multiplication ones do better. I think they do better. Oh,
Yeah, I
I
could
did
see
sell. I
that.
sold something else. Must have sold that this morning. I didn't even see it. I sold a chalkware Madonna like head that you hang on the wall.
Huh?
I sold
Oh,
her.
that's cool.
My religious things
Chocolate.
keep selling. Oh,
Yeah,
that must have
'tis
sold.
the
I must have
season.
put uh a low, like a minimal, do you know what I mean?
Minimal
A
what?
minimum offer
Like a
because,
mid-range.
yeah, because she
Oh,
sold for like a 20 even, and I put 87 cents for all my.
that's right. Oh,
Oh,
so
the best thing.
you have oh, go ahead. The best
No, go
thing
ahead.
what? Oh, no, I
The
was gonna
best
say
thing I
you
sold
have
this
best
weekend was
offer.
for $40. These teeny tiny little, actually, here I'll put them up. These teeny tiny little mugs. Oh my God. Okay. Screech
Like
here.
just decorative mugs? Or you can you use them?
They're Santa. Hold on, I gotta.
Oh, like a demi-tasse? Or smaller?
I don't, they're like a shot glass, basically, but they're little
Oh,
mugs. They're
okay.
little decorators and they're the Winky Santas. They're not Hold Howard, but they're vintage.
Uh-huh.
Um, I sold those. They're two teeny. I spent 50 cents on them. They were a quarter each at a church sale.
Oh, wow.
I
Uh-huh.
I sold them for $40. So that was my best sale this
That's
weekend.
awesome.
It's not that
Wow.
great, but
That's
it's good for
no, that
me.
is when you spend 50 cents into
Yeah.
$40, that's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Here's the thing
yeah.
too. I bought those, I don't know when I bought them, a while ago. I thought they were listed and I was going through my stuff and they weren't put away on the shelf. And I was like, well,
Mhm.
aren't these listed? And they weren't. And I listed them and they sold almost immediately. So,
Oh,
um,
wow. That's amazing.
If it's not listed, it won't sell, people.
Exactly. I guess that's the perk of doing inventory. Do you do inventory
Yeah, I'll do
or
it.
you list it, forget it?
No, I'll do it. I'll go through my bins and
Mhm.
my shelves and make sure everything's listed because I've done it because stuff falls off.
Yeah,
Stuff falls off all
same.
the time.
I
So I'll probably
know.
do it. Like I'll do it in the new year, like January, like
Mhm.
stores do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I found some stuff that, same thing that's like fallen off and I'm like, "Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, like this should have sold." And
Right.
it's
Why
amazing
didn't you?
how like how does it decide to like fall off? Like what is it? Did it not get views or something? Oh my gosh. And
Yeah, I don't
side
know.
note, I had a draft fall off and I swear it hasn't been up. You know how like after I forgot how many days it is because I don't have my drafts too long, but
Hmm.
um my draft fell off. And
Yeah.
because I have been actively looking for I need like a Allen key, like a certain size Allen key to like
Yeah.
fix this one piece. And so it's
Hmm.
just been sitting in my draft
Right.
and it fell off. And now I'm so bummed because I have to take pictures. It's a crossbow, like a hunting crossbow, one of those like metal ones.
I feel
So
like
now I got to
drafts
take
stay up
those
for a
pictures again. I'm
while.
so
I
bummed.
feel like
But
they stay up for a
I
long
wonder if
time.
anything else has fallen off. I know. I know. So I was kind of like, hmm. So how many drafts? I know there's some people, I know that Grams and Pops, they draft everything and then they pump out X amount of dollars a day from their drafts. So I wonder if they've ever had stuff fall off their drafts and they don't even
Realize it.
know, you
I
know?
know. But and that's why I gotta do it. I don't utilize the draft thing like that except for, you know, I'm start to list it and it's like I forgot to measure it or I forgot, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it sits there
Hmm.
until I go and so I don't usually leave stuff there, but I feel like excuse me. Thought I was gonna sneeze. I feel like I've had stuff there like that I've looked up and
Yeah.
just left it in a draft just because I looked it up because I bought it and I haven't listed it yet. That sat there for a long time
Yeah.
and I didn't even realize it because then I just went in and did a new one and then I look at the drafts and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
Same.
So I don't know how long
Same.
they sit there.
I thought for some I don't know. I have no idea. 'Cause I'm the same. I typically only have drafts enough stuff drafted for at the most like 7 days. So they're typically
Yeah.
not, sitting there very long. But
Yeah, I
I was
I'm like
shocked.
a
I was
day
like,
or two.
"No."
I like leave like 5 things in drafts if I know I'm going to be busy and then I'll just put a couple things in the next couple days up. But
Yeah.
I
Same.
don't utilize them. I don't use them.
Same.
I don't use drafts like Grams and Pops or ADHD. I know Dave's been doing that. At least he was the last time I watched him. You know, he's like, I got like all this stuff in drafts and like he was putting everything in drafts and then just, I'm
And
assuming
then
that's
listing
what
from
Corey
there.
and Teresa are doing is
Yeah.
putting everything in drafts and then just going and yeah, I don't do that. So,
Yeah, that's what I think that's how they do it. Because I'm sure
hmm.
they have like bulk listing days. I'm just assuming that they bulk list on, I don't know, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they feed off of that for the rest of the week
Right, right.
just so they can hit their benchmark.
Well, they
I
probably
don't
do it
know what
Monday,
their
Tuesday
benchmark
because
is.
then, you know, or Sunday, Monday, or probably do it Monday because the rest of the week during the when it's not snowing up there is yard sale season.
Yard sale day.
Oh, we're going to a yard sale. It's Tuesday afternoon. Don't people work?
There cannot be any yard sales going on in South Dakota right now.
No, there is it snow there yet?
I will bet you, I will bet you, I don't know. I'll bet you $5 there's no more yard sales in South Dakota. We're gonna find out after we
Oh, there can't
after
be.
we do
It's
this.
they probably have a foot of snow on the ground, right? I mean,
I bet there's no snow. But
yeah.
I did ask, I was on Roman's, podcast, or is it a podcast? Roman's Live this past
Yeah,
weekend,
mhm.
and I think
The
I
most
asked him, I don't
unprofessional
know if it
live.
unprofessional live, yes. I asked him, I don't know if it was before we started recording, but I asked him if there's been any, like, snow, and I swear he said there's been, like, snow flurries and stuff already, and he lives in,
He
like,
lives in
Cleveland, right?
Ohio, but
Cleveland-ish area?
does he live near Cleveland? I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
I
He's
don't know
well, he
where
was
in
saying
Ohio.
he was saying Cleveland a lot, so I'm assuming he's near there
I
or
I
near
think
the outskirts or something?
that's his football team. I don't know if he's how close he is. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
that's right, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Is that them? The Cleveland
Mhm.
Browns? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know exactly
Orange
where
and
he
brown,
is.
that's all I know.
Can can I tell you? This is terrible.
Uh-oh.
No, it's just a joke I thought of. Not that I made it up, but no, it's not. I mean, it's like it's a roast of Ohio. My Drew Drew used to work with. He probably still does. Works with a guy that was from Michigan, and they just call
Uh-huh.
Ohio like 7 hours. Ohio's the it adds 7 hours to every drive, every long drive or something, because that's all it is. It's just there's nothing there
Sticks?
except you have to drive through it to get anywhere good.
That's what they say about Ohio?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Isn't, like, Kansas and
Mm,
Nebraska, like, all open?
I, to me, it's all
Or
they're all the same.
And
I love you.
Wyoming, I would
I love
imagine
you, people out
Wyoming or
there,
South
but
Dakota.
I have a friend of a friend. Well, first off, I should say my friend that I worked with for a long time. She when she graduated high school, her dad had like I don't know if like he, he was like a corporate lawyer or something. Anyway, they moved around a few
Mhm.
times, but not much. Um, but for whatever reason, he had a job in Kansas, and she taught at a little tiny school. I think it was on a reservation. You know, so it was
Oh,
like a
okay.
K. You know, it was like K-8, and there was like it was tiny. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything except that whenever you're talking about in the middle of the country, she just
Yeah.
says Kansas. She's like, I don't know, somewhere in
Uh-huh.
Kansas.
Somewhere in
Like, no,
Kansas.
they're not all Kansas. But then I know another person that just calls them, and she lives in Virginia. She calls them the dirt states.
Bird
She's
states.
like, I don't know,
Oh
one of
my
them dirt
gosh.
states. Like, stop. Sorry to offend you people in the dirt state.
We've been canceled. Mo is calling the entire Midwest dirt states. There's gonna be
I
like a dust bowl as our background for the thumbnail. Doom and gloom in the dust states. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just like, oh,
Oh
well,
my
she
god.
says it, and it annoys our other friend who lives in Virginia too, but
I can't.
she's from Kentucky.
Okay.
She's like, it's so it, you know, she says dirt states, and it kind of annoys her. And she's like, hey, but you know,
Dirt state.
it's funny to me when people from like,
Oh god. I'm getting
it's
hot now.
funny to me when people like I've heard people in like Tennessee and stuff like they'll refer to themselves as East Coast, and I'm like, you're not a coast.
Oh.
You're not East
Oh.
Coast. I mean, you're Eastern Standard Time,
Right.
but you're nowhere near the coast. Sorry.
No. If you're not a ocean border
If
state,
you
you
can't
can't be on a
see,
coastal
if you
state.
can't drive to the ocean in a day
Yeah.
or less, preferably,
No, you
You're
have to
not a
be a
coast.
border. Like
Yeah,
there has to be a coastal
right.
area. You have
Like
to be
even
touching the
the funny
Atlantic
thing is, I
or
mean,
the Pacific
because
or the Gulf.
technically Pennsylvania, you know, falls in East Coast, but they don't border. Because I always say, I'm like, you're not, because my husband's from Pennsylvania. I'm like, you're not,
Uh-huh.
I go, you don't border an ocean. You don't get to call
Uh,
yourself a coastal up there in Pennsylvania.
true.
You
Oh,
gotta go
there's
through New
no,
Jersey.
oh, I didn't know. I don't the North, East is like a there's so many little states
Yeah.
that I get confused.
But
Like,
you can I mean, on the eastern part of Pennsylvania, you can drive to the beach in a day, like, or, you can it can be a day trip for a lot of people, even though they
yeah,
don't border the actual ocean. But yeah,
true.
but like I don't remember where I was or who it was, and they were like, "Well, us on the coast," and I'm like, "The coast? What the?" No, no, sorry. You're one
No,
of them dirt
no, nope,
states.
nope. Oh my gosh.
You don't have any sandy soil.
Jeez. Well, I sold
What'd you sell?
some
Yeah, we
my
got off
sale
track.
my sales have been pretty my sales have been good because
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago well, it's probably been a month. I put a sale
Yeah,
on my store. I did
yeah,
a 40% sale. I think I talked about this
right. Yeah,
on
you did.
like half of the items
Yeah.
in
So
my
how's it going? Because when
inventory.
you did it, it wasn't. You were like, I sold one thing.
Yeah, I only sold a couple things
Yeah.
from that 40% off sale, which is
Right.
weird, but because of that sale, there was a ton of, send offers, because people saved them.
Right. Uh huh.
So, I let those build up, and, I also turned on, best offers. I had best offers off
Yeah.
for, like, a year because I was just getting super low balls, and I was just over it, so I just got rid of it altogether.
Right.
But I could see, like, "Oh, I'm not getting as many sales." So, I turned it back on probably a month ago too, and my
Mhm.
sales have been doing, like, really well, which is kind of funny because I didn't do the whole, what is it, like, bottom line for best offers. Like, I just made it o wide open for
Yeah.
best offers. So I
Yeah.
would get, like, some serious low balls, but I kind of like now that I'm, reevaluating it, I kind of like it because that's just action on that item.
Right.
And then every
Mhm.
time I counter, it's
Yeah.
just more action, and then
Yeah.
they counter, it's more action. And a couple times I have had people sending this is stuff that's been in my inventory for like a while.
Right.
And somebody will send me a low ball, I'll counter, and then it will sell full price to somebody else. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
what are the odds that something that's been in my inventory forever is now got all these eyes on it and it sold for full
Right.
price.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. And
Mhm.
another thing, I think this happened to you, I'm not sure. I had somebody buy something. I can't remember what exactly it was, but they sent an offer and it was a decent offer. I was okay with it and I accepted it. And for some reason it didn't click through like, automatic payment. So it was sitting for like 2 days not getting paid for. So, I was just like, "Oh, I'll just wait until the till it's over and then, relist it or whatever." It
Right.
sold for full price to somebody else. It stayed listed and somebody else bought it for full
Yeah.
price,
Yeah, that happened to me.
which is
Yeah.
kind of that's kind of funny too, though,
Mhm.
that it still showed up,
Right.
as available for sale. But I
Mhm.
never heard back from the person who like, I double checked to make sure it was like a different username that bought it.
Yeah.
But I that's kind of funny, like, y if I was that person that bought it and just hadn't paid for it yet, I would have been like, "Hey, where's the item? I can't pay for it." But I never got
Right.
any messages or anything for it. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that was, like, a decent price. It was over $50,
I
but I
wonder
think that's
if
interesting too.
I don't I've never I wonder if like so if you're I know like if you're buying something on Etsy, it'll tell you this is in, buy it now because this is in five other people's carts or whatever. I wonder if it does something like that
Right.
for eBay. If they have
I don't
something on
know.
the buyer end, it's like, you know, there's only one of these left and other people are may buy it before
Like, for
you
now?
if you don't pay. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
good thing to we could do some kind of, like, internal research activity and you list something and then you
Yeah.
can get other people to buy it and not pay
Yeah,
for
I
it.
know. Yeah, see what they're up to. It's like stuff they don't
I
really tell
know.
you about that they've done.
Right.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it, but,
I'm not mad at it,
no.
you know?
The I do
Mhm.
have on not on everything, but on a lot of things, especially things that I don't want feel that I feel like I might get super low balls on and I don't feel like dealing with
Mhm.
it. I don't have a lot of that stuff. But or if I
Mhm.
just think of it when I'm listing it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like this Mary wall thing that wall hanging thing that I sold. I probably had it for 24.87 and I put 20 as the lowest offer I'd take because it sold for 20. So
Right.
somebody must have put 20 in,
Uh-huh.
which is fine. It's just,
Oh, okay.
I don't have to go
Yeah.
through that. It just sold.
Yeah. Yeah, I've sold, I guess because it's the season, I've sold 3, military parkas, like the
Oh
cold
yeah.
weather military
Mhm.
parkas.
Yeah.
It was great. One of them sold for over $100. The other one sold for like 56, and then another one sold for 62. And they're all Gore-Tex. And
Yeah.
I know 2 of them I paid $5 for because I remember the yard sale I bought it from.
Mhm.
And then the other one that sold for over 100, it was brand new with tags. And I paid 20. I think I paid 10 or 20 for that one. So that was nice to like get the like see those moving.
Right.
And then some Christmas stuff. I sold some Christmas stuff. And some Beyblades. I sold a whole lot of like Beyblades and launchers and medals for like
Cool.
88. So I
Wow.
was excited to get those
Yeah.
moving. And a Christmas a shirt, it's like a Roosevelt's. It's like a good brand to look for. And they always have like these different like logos and stuff. Like this one's Home Alone, and it's got all these like little tiny different, the burglars and like
Mhm.
Kevin with his
Right.
mouth, and that sold. Oh, yeah, the Wet Bandits, that's what it was. And it's
Mhm.
really nice. It sold for like 45, $50. And then I had just bought it probably last weekend. One of those nesting dolls, the Santa
Yeah. The one you were talking
matros
about.
mat
Yeah. Matryoshka.
matroshkas. I think that's how
Matryoshka.
he said it's a yo. Yeah, he said it's a yo sound.
Oh.
Matroshka. That's it, I
I've
guess.
never heard of the O sound. I've always pronounced it Matryoshka. Matryoshka.
Matroy, yo. I don't know. That's what Roman
I don't
said.
know. I
He'll
mean,
correct
he's
us in the
Russian. He
comment.
would know. He's Uzbekistan, right?
Yes.
Where's he from? He
Yes,
speaks Russian.
Uzbekistan. I
Yeah.
think Tashkent? I probably murdered that. Tashkent? Mm, something like that. Begins with a T. Tashkent. Yeah, but that was fun. I had you were on a couple weeks ago. I
Mhm.
have to like focus on, list because his accent is so thick, that I have to like pay super attention to what he's saying or I'll miss it, but it wasn't as bad
Well,
as I
you miss it anyway because he talks a lot and he goes from like he's talking to you and then 2 seconds later he's talking about the Tyson fight again. I'm like, "How did he get back on Tyson fight?" Oh my
What I
god.
guess because whatever chat was saying, I
I
guess
get
chat was
yeah,
talking
that's
about
true.
it
Yeah. Mhm.
because it was literally we did it the day after the Tyson
Yeah.
fight, which
Mhm.
yeah, and it was crazy seeing did you watch it? Are you into that?
No. I didn't watch it
No?
because
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't feeling well. I'm trying to think if I was
Yeah.
somewhere. I was either not feeling
It
well
was
or
Friday
out
night.
somewhere because, the whole weekend was, like, kind of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I knew that it was gonna, everybody was gonna have trouble, like, streaming it, so we turned it on at, what time did it start? It started early, like 8, 7:30, I don't know, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
We started
Mhm.
streaming it before 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
so we watched all 4 fights and stuff. Was it 4
Mhm.
fights? 1, 2, 3? I think it was 4. Yeah, it was 4 fights, and, we didn't have any problem. It didn't, like lag or anything. So I was like grateful that we were able to watch it. Although it was kind of like lackluster, the Tyson, the Tyson Jake fight. But the
Right.
girl fight was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like it was it was good. Like it was like a lot of action and you're like, "What?" Her eyebrow got split, like
Mhm.
literally 3/4 of her eyebrow was split and Mo,
Yeah.
it was sagging down into
Oh.
her.
Oh.
Yeah, it was it was bad. It was bad. Like
Oh.
I can't I can't imagine what she looked like the next day. I don't follow her on social media or anything, but I can't imagine how bad it was the next day. Like, yeah, it was crazy. But, you know, for 40 million, well, not her, but Jake got 40 million from that fight, which is crazy. Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I know. That's crazy.
Rock star women. There was a rock
Mhm.
star women. And we have our female reseller who's
Oh, yeah.
one of our
If it's
rock stars of
females, this is
the
a
week.
twofer. This is a twofer.
A twofer.
Yeah, there's 2.
Oh, oh, gotcha.
2 girls. 2 girls for 1.
2 girls, 2 women, 2 women.
Um,
Who is it? Who is it?
oops,
Drum
I
roll.
put the confetti.
We need a
Fatbird
drum roll.
Finds. Um, it's Amy and Mary Beth. Amy and Mary Beth. I'm talking to you. It's Mary Beth and Laura. Speaking of speaking of a dirt state, they're in Kentucky.
Oh my gosh. Is that
Anyway,
Dirt State too?
yep, they're in Paducah, Kentucky, and they I found them during the pandemic. They started a show, and I haven't watched them in a long time, unfortunately. But they started a Friday night. They call it Flippin' and Sippin'. You know, they were just drinking, playing games, and they sell some things too online on YouTube. So it was fun. But
Like a YouTube Live.
yes, on Friday nights, and
Wow.
they they find a lot of
That's cool.
cool. They're out there in glassland, so they find a lot of glass. Um,
Yeah, I bet. Which we don't have any
Mary Beth
glass
has a
here.
whole very cool collection of swung vases. Um, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
bet.
so they are going strong. I know of like a year ago or so, Laura. The other thing is too is Laura's mom. Her family has like a vintage, like an antique store in Paducah.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it's called. It's funny, and so they have a little bit. They sell some things there. Um, her mom's vibe is very much traditional. These
Huh.
where they like sell a lot of mid-century modern, you know what I mean, MCM stuff. But
Yeah,
but if you go in there, it's very much the traditional antiques and stuff. But it's
that's
cool what they
cool.
find. It's cool what they find.
I know. Definitely. That's awesome. Fat
Mhm.
birds. What is it? Fat birds
Fat
finds?
bird finds.
Fat bird's fine. I'm gonna have to sub. I'm always learning new stuff. Mo watches different stuff than I do, and
Yeah.
so we're learning from each other.
Yep.
So Fat Bird finds. Wonder if they have an Instagram. I'll have to check
Yes,
that out
they do.
too.
They have fat. It's not plural on the bird. Fat bird finds.
Fat Bird Find sounds
Yeah.
awesome. I'm gonna do that. I put a note to look them up on Instagram. Fantastic. That's awesome. Oh, what what were you gonna talk about about the crazy conspiracy theory
Oh, I
you were
know. We
talking
keep
about?
forgetting to say it. We had our little conspiracy
I
podcast, but um so I came across, I don't know if it was on TikTok or something. I don't even know if I can remember it right. Somebody said that there's a star, like a Hollywood star, that has to have a fish. I was like, what's going on?
What do you mean a fish? A
Like a
fish what?
big old raw fish, like fish you just caught, like a like a support fish.
Well, what?
So
Like, and carry it around?
yeah,
That kind of sport fish?
yeah, like obviously not in public, but apparently behind closed doors. So I was listening to something, like I said, I don't know if it was on, I don't know what it was,
TikTok?
but somebody had a story. They said that their sister lived near stars, and like I don't, there's people that like will go and have star sightings. Like they'll go, oh, such and such is going to be here. I'm going to go see them, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
And their sister went, and the person was handed a fish through the car window or
Through the gates
something.
of their
I
house?
don't,
W
like they were
What?
in a car, they were going somewhere, and they had to have this fish. Do you want to know who it was though?
Of course I do. Like, w was it a real fish? Was it a plastic fish? Like,
I think a
what
real
kind of fish does
fish.
it have to be? A tuna?
Um,
What
um,
are you sure they're just not getting some sushi? Some, like
no, like a fit, like a whole fish. Tom Cruise.
Oh my gosh,
You can
stop
look it
it.
up. And there's a lot of
I
conspiracy
I'm gonna
about
write
it.
that down.
Oh my god. I was like, what is going
Well,
on? And they're like, no, like a actual, just a big old, like,
that can't be real, Mo, because
I,
you
I,
cannot
I
hit
don't
you
know.
if you touch
Maybe the Thetans, got to eat raw fish. I don't know. His
oh my god.
Thetans.
You can't even touch a fish and
He's
then go
at
anywhere.
he's at Amy, he's at the gr- at the Scientology level where you eat fish, raw fish. I don't know. Or you pal around with fish.
Oh,
I don't know. What are those
is that a
levels way up
thing?
there?
We're gonna get he's level what is it? Level 6 or something? Is that what they are? The levels of Scientology?
Yeah, I mean they
They're
have
like
levels, right?
tiers or
Yeah.
yeah,
I
oh,
don't know. I
we'll
watched
have to
the
get Leah Remini on and,
right.
ask her some
That's why I
questions.
was like, I remember
I'll read
her watching her docu series and her
and,
showing like the posters with the levels and everything. I don't know.
yes.
I don't know. All I
What was
know
it,
is that
Mike?
he's doing people were speculating what he was doing with the fish. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Interesting. Was he driving and then they were passing it through the driver's side, or was
That's
he a
the
passenger?
story that I thought I heard. Yeah, but I don't know.
Interesting. That sounds a little fishy to me. No pun intended.
Ah, but bump.
Oh
Anyway,
my gosh.
that's
I'm
like
gonna
one of
deep
the
dive into
weirdest
that.
conspiracy things that I've ever
Maybe not
heard.
too deep, but
Tom Cruise and
I
fish.
can't, Mo.
He's
That is I
he's a
I had
fish
no idea.
lover.
I just wrote crazy Hollywood conspiracy, and I was like, I have no idea where this is gonna go. Oh my gosh. That is too funny. Oh, you know what I saw? I saw something that, was it this morning? It might have been this morning. It was about Macari. I know Macari's had some changes with their, like, CEOs and stuff
I'm
like
going
that,
I'm going
but
to I have
oh,
to blow my nose. Keep talking. I'm just going to mute and I'm gonna do a Kevin while you talk.
you're gonna pull a Kevin?
Yeah.
So I saw that Macari is do I don't know if this is gonna be in, like, 2025, but they are partnering up with 7-Eleven, like the actual convenience store 7-Eleven, but in Taiwan. So you can have your, like, packages shipped to, like, the 7-Elevens, and you can pick them up from there. I don't know what that means exactly, or if it's like a, like one of those lockers, like an Amazon locker, but they're gonna be at 7-Eleven for Macari. I don't know. I read that this morning, and they're gonna do it to 7,000 stores. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I hit the wrong I
Oh, left the chat. She was disturbed by the 7-Eleven in
I
her
hit the wrong
story.
thing. I hit disconnect instead of stupid microphone on.
Oh my gosh. Did you hear anything I said?
Yes, I heard it all. I heard so that sounds cool, but yeah, and that's what it sounds like, um, where, you can get an Amazon locker. I know there's a
Yeah.
Goodwill in, the town over it's the college town, University of Delaware, they have Amazon lockers. I know, that's there's some other places that have them,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. This was 7,000 stores in Taiwan, which is kind of just a random thing that was like Macari
they have a lot of
teaming up with
7-Elevens over
7-Eleven
there,
to
I
do that.
guess. Yeah.
I guess I had no idea. I didn't know. I don't
Hmm.
know. And then I saw what else did I see? Um Oh, and I saw that their 2024 impact report for just the US says that they saved and sold 610,000 pounds of clothing and, avoided, the landfill.
Macari?
So
This
that's pretty good.
Macari.
Just in the US. This is US
Interesting.
though.
Interesting.
610,000 pounds. I
Hmm.
know. I was like, wow, that's a lot. I'm sure it's not just clothing. It's probably all goods, you know what I mean? As far as the weight. But I
Right.
thought that was kind of cool. Yeah,
Interesting.
I know. And then I saw something else about eBay. eBay is gonna, this is 2025, like I guess this is what they're projected to do. It
Hmm.
said eBay is gonna invest 1.2 million in startups by the end of 2025. And they're gonna reward one, it's called Circular Fashion Innovator of the Year with an extra $300,000 investment. So I was wondering what all that is. And 1.2 million in startups, and I think this is all fashion stuff.
Yeah.
What would a startup be for eBay fashion? Like
I don't know. You start selling
I'm
clothes? I don't
confused
know.
on what
It's
that
weird.
means. That's what I
Hmm.
thought. Is it like is it just reselling or is it like a luxury startup? Like, oh, to bring, how like TikTok is doing all of those pre-owned luxuries. You see them all the time when you
Right.
scroll through TikTok. Do you see those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe they're maybe that's the kind of thing they're talking about, like high-end fashion stuff. But that's a lot of money, 1.2 million,
It's
and
a lot,
you can't
a
fix
lot, a lot, a lot,
you
a
can't
lot of
fix
money.
the buy it nows? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
I just thought that
Right.
was interesting, those 2 little facts.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
weird.
It's
Like,
crazy.
yeah, like just are they doing it for like small? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. That was just like I was just perusing it. I didn't like deep dive into it because and then then there was a thing where you can apply. And I was like, "Apply? What I'm gonna have to look into that."
Yeah.
Not that I'm doing anything that would qualify for that, but it's interesting just to see what the qualifications would be
Right.
for that $300,000, was that what it was? $300,000 investment
Wow.
for an extra $300,000 investment. So,
Wow.
yeah, I know. Interesting, interesting. So what kind of after school shows did you watch, Mo, growing up? Do you remember like coming home because this thing was on TV, the cartoons, or did you come home and watch like General Hospital or something?
So, for
Uh-oh.
you used to get home about I want to say like from middle school on, like 5th, 6th grade up, get
Huh?
home about 10 minutes to 3. And then, so there was a show around here called Dancing on Air, you know, and it was just
Okay.
kids dancing, right?
Okay.
And so you'd watch the last 10 minutes of that, and then General Hospital came on at 3, so we'd watch that. And then,
Uh-huh.
usually after that, because this was the MTV's glory era when you actually watched
Yeah.
music videos. Watch some
Mhm.
MTV, and then, whatever reruns were on. A
Yeah.
rerun, children,
That's
is like you know how you watch The Office over and over again? Well, it would be on TV and it would be rerunning. You
yes.
couldn't pick which one you watched, you just watched whatever was on.
Yeah, same.
Cartoons,
Same. I watched
you know,
was there cartoons on after school? Remember
sometimes, I think. The
cartoons.
Brady Bunch would be on,
Oh,
Gilligan's Island, Flintstones. Flintstones was a
oh my
cartoon.
oh my gosh. The Gilligan's Island and stuff. I used to babysit for these two boys. Like literally, I felt like every weekend. Like I
Mhm.
babysat these two boys and I would be there till like 2 in the morning and they had Nick at Night. And I can remember just watching all the black and white, like Gilligan's Island and God, what is like Father Knows Best and,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, I
it
remember
just
when Nick
was
and I
just,
did
like,
that.
so
I was
funny.
watching them on other local channels because
Oh, really? Those were
this was
funny.
before
But
Nick
I
at Night.
used to watch MTV. I used to watch MTV after school too, just,
Yeah.
and then we had in the what was this, early 90s? Late 80s, early 90s? Had to have been the 90s, early 90s. We had a VCR and, um, I would watch tapes too. We had tapes. I remember I would record movies on HBO and then rewatch them, you know?
Yeah, uh-huh.
So that's crazy. Do you remember doing that?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
used
would
to
do that too.
when I was in, like, middle and high school, my dad and I would tape Letterman show because, he was on late, late, you know? He was
Huh?
on after
Yeah.
Carson. This is how old I am. Johnny Carson was still on. And then Letterman, so we'd tape Letterman and we'd watch it the next evening, or we'd watch a bunch
My
in a
gosh.
row.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Because
I didn't watch any of that stuff. Oh my gosh. I just looked up this. I absolutely, I'm like leaning so far into it. I absolutely loved Fraggle Rock. Did you watch Fraggle
oh,
Rock?
yes! It would come on Sundays on HBO, and we'd be like, "It's time for a Frag."
Yes.
If we were like outside playing, I'd be like, "It's Fraggle Rock time." Go inside.
Yes. Oh, I loved it. And when that song would come on in the beginning, like
Do do
dance
do
your
do
cares
do.
away,
Worries
worries
for
for another
another
day.
day. Da 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 da. Down
That was
Fraggle
the
Rock.
best. And the little dozers, do you
Yeah,
remember those? Is that what
yeah.
they're called? Little
Uh-huh,
dozers?
those are yeah.
I loved Fraggle Rock. Oh my gosh. And what else did I remember being young. This was in the 80s. I watched Garfield. Do you remember Garfield and
Mhm.
Heathcliff?
Yeah,
Well, mostly Heathcliff. I liked Heathcliff better. That was that was one of my favorites too, but that was when I was really little.
yeah,
That was the best. Heathcliff. And Punky Brewster, that was when I was really little too.
yeah.
Did you watch Punky Brewster?
I did, but I was older, and I didn't always, I know my sisters watched it. They're closer
Mhm.
to your age. They're a
Yeah.
little younger.
And, and the Smurfs. I loved the
All the
Smurfs.
Smurfs. Love Smurfs.
Yeah. And the gummy bears, is that what they were called? The gummy bears?
I
Uh,
don't know. I
I don't
know there
know.
was a Gummy Bear cartoon. I don't know if I've ever
Yeah.
seen it. I was too old by then.
Yeah, that was a good one too. And what was another one that I liked? I can't remember. There was another one I was gonna say. Oh, it was called The Little People or something like that. They were those little people that lived in like a air vents.
I'm thinking of like Fisher
Remember?
Price Little People. What? No.
No, they were the littles. They were called the littles.
Now
They,
see that's vaguely familiar. That's vaguely
Yeah.
familiar. I think
The
another one that
song
I
was
was like,
like
maybe like, I saw some of this stuff because I had little kid sisters that watched it, but I was too busy, like, talking on the phone and watching MTV,
right.
you know?
I loved the Littles, because it was like they were like micro people that lived in I swear they lived in like air vents and registers and stuff like that, and they were friends with a normal human, and they would like do like caper type things. I loved
I'm
it though.
looking it up. The Littles.
Littles. And then they had like little airplanes and things, and it was the best. I loved it. Their little theme song was something like "We are the Littles." Du- 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 du. That's it.
Oh,
That's all I
they
got.
were books. It was books too. Huh.
No, I
That's
don't
what it
remember
says. It
books.
says a complete series of novels.
Really? I don't remember the
Yeah.
books.
And
I
then
used to read a lot too
well, then it
growing
says the
up.
novels were first published in the 60s, and then I guess the cartoon was in the 80s.
Wonder if it's the same
I
thing
do
we're
kind of
talking about.
remember vaguely remember the Littles.
Oh, maybe. I do see the books, but they don't. Oh my gosh, you're probably right. I had no idea. I would have
I didn't
totally
know.
read
I
those
wouldn't know.
books when I was little. I was obsessed with like the Babysitter's Club. Like I read all
Oh
of
yeah, my
those.
sisters read all those, yeah.
Yeah, I had like I can't even show. I had bookshelves filled with uh um Mo, I have an update. I have
Yeah.
an update from Grams and Pops. It is snowing as of right now when we're recording on
See,
Wednesday.
I knew it.
It's snowing. It's snowing in South Dakota and there are no more sales. So, no more
Dun
sales
dun
and it's snowing.
dun. Sorry.
I know. So, guess they're gonna wonder when the sales pick up again. April, May, but that's crazy. Snowing already. Mm-mm-mm.
Ugh.
No idea. I know.
Meanwhile, I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Littles, I had no idea.
in the
Books. Amazing. Amazing. No way. I have no idea, Mo. Oh no. So we'll have to make our thumbnail like the Dust Bowl dilemma, the
gloom and
drama,
doom.
Dust Bowl drama, gloom and doom, Dust Bowl, and then maybe
Reselling
some
is
snow in the
over.
corners.
Reselling's over.
Exactly. Dirt states no longer. I don't know, some doom and gloom thing. That would be
Eh,
funny.
but
The
you
world
know,
is
it makes
falling.
sense though, because I would say this it's dirt states because like i- you were talking about like how you have clay soil. We have clay
Yeah.
here and and you go a little south, it's all sand. It's they actually
Mhm.
have dirt.
Yeah.
That's why they grow things.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we get yeah, we have to like break ours up and stuff and
Hmm. Yeah,
plant
that's
those
ours.
plants that like disturb it and they're root bound and they break it
Right.
up and stuff like that. But that's
Hmm.
like craziness. And we are right next to a well, it was a well, our neighborhood was built on a soybean farm. So, and it's oh, how old's our neighborhood? Our neighborhood's 20, 30 years old, probably 30 years old at
Hmm.
the most. And there will still randomly be a soybean like plant that pops
Oh,
up,
that's
because
funny.
there's a
I was
soybean
gonna say
farm next
darn
to us. So it just makes me think
it.
how resilient those are that they're still popping up 30 years later, you know?
I will say it. I try and avoid soy at all costs. I don't eat it.
Yeah.
It messes with my thyroid.
Oh, so no tofu and
I
stuff for
have
you.
I have conspiracy theories about soy.
You do? Because what? It's GMO?
They put it in everything. Why? Why do you need to put soy in everything? Why do I need soy?
It's probably cheap to grow.
Hmm?
Cheap to grow.
Well, yeah, that's why. That's why.
Mhm.
That's my that
Yeah.
you summed up my conspiracy aim.
So what is
Well, and
it? Well,
apparently
oh,
it
it just
grows
says
anywhere and
soybean.
everywhere, and it still grows 30 years later.
Unless unless it's like a volunteer from the birds eating it, and then maybe they're pooping,
Well,
and
yeah, I mean,
then
that's
it I
probably
don't know.
what happens anyway.
That's true. That is true, because we have grown, these berries, they're called they're called Swartzenberries. It's like a little bush, it's like an annual bush, um, and they're these berries, they're almost like blackberries, and
Mhm.
they're so good. Anyway, um, we only plant 3 bushes a year, and it's in the same corner that we grow it. Well, I have found, like, they're done. They have been they have, we've harvested all the berries and we ripped the bush out. I found a because when you grow stuff, you can identify the leaves when you grow so much of it.
Yeah.
I found a Schwarzenberry bush, not a it wasn't a bush, it was like a seedling, all the way down by our mailbox,
Mhm.
like
Some
growing. And that's a
bird or
good
squirrel buried something.
50. Yes, exactly. I think it's so funny
Yeah.
that, that I'm following finding these volunteer, bushes growing. So I just pick them out. It's crazy. So crazy. I don't know. I don't know. So what's your plans for this week, Mo, with your eBay store?
Hopefully I'll get some stuff listed. That's about it for me.
Yeah, that's about it for
That's
you.
all I gotta
Do you have a
do.
goal? Do you have a goal
No. No.
to keep you motivated? No.
No.
Do you,
I should have one, but I haven't been feeling well, and I just get disappointed. So my goal is just to get something listed.
yeah.
Anything. Few things.
Hmm.
So,
And then you said you have things going out today, right?
yeah, I have a couple things.
Those little cups? Those little,
Oh
Mickey
no, they went
cups?
out.
Is that what
They
sold?
sold over the weekend. They went out already.
Oh,
No, well, no, they didn't sell.
I
I mailed them yesterday, so they sold on. No, they sold the weekend. I mailed them Monday. Monday, yeah.
yeah. I sold something this morning or over the night. It was a, lands in it's a base layer piece for a woman. It's a tank top base layer, but it's 100% silk. And it's like it's almost like a knit, like it's got a pattern in it.
Yeah.
I don't
Hmm.
know. I had never seen that before. It was brand new. I found it brand new in the package in
Oh
like
wow.
one of our Goodwill totes. And
Mhm.
that sold, there was no comps either. Like I had to actually Google Lens it and find it on their website.
Yeah.
But I had maybe 50 cents into it, maybe. And it sold in like 2 days. I was surprised. Like
Oh wow.
it's this dainty
Like
tank
a
top. Like
tank
if
top.
it will
That's
snag,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's not, it's loose. It must be like a pajama one or something.
I
But
had silk is really good insulator. I had When I was in high school and I was in marching band, my mom bought me silk long underwear because we'd march, it'd be cold out and stuff, parades,
well,
from LL Bean. And
oh,
it does snag, but it was long underwear, so nobody cared. And it
yeah.
lasted forever,
Uh-huh.
and it kept me warm. That stuff will keep you
That's
warm. It's crazy.
wow. Was it super thin? Because
Yeah,
mine is like
it was thin.
super thin.
Yeah, it was thin, but
Yeah,
it kept you warm, and I don't know if it kept you warm without like getting sweaty. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it naturally
yeah.
wicked away the sweat. I don't know, but it did. It worked just as well, if not better, than like the thermal stuff
The
you get
thermals.
now. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
I
this stuff is like so delicate. Like
Mhm.
it's like I can't imagine it keeping I couldn't imagine it keeping you warm just because it's so thin. And
Yeah.
the way it's like knitted, it's got this pretty design
Yeah.
through it. I
I
mean, it's
mean,
really
that's
nice.
obviously
I
more
would
for a for a layering, but
yeah,
it just
I
made me think
guess.
of that. It's like probably the only silk thing ever.
Wow. Yeah, I
And I
found
think
the
that
pants
however
too, or
they were, like you could
the
wash, I don't put them in the dryer, but you could wash them in the washing machine.
God, I couldn't imagine washing them with anything. Like, I was afraid to, like I was make when I was taking pictures of them, I
Mhm.
was making sure that my nails weren't,
Yeah,
like
you
they
wanna
were
get something
filed
on
because
there,
I was
right, yeah,
afraid I was gonna
snag it.
snag it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and it's cream colored too. It's really pretty.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was a good deal. I just didn't know what to list it for because they were expensive on the website, but
right.
I just I listed for like 20 bucks. And the long john or the pants, not the pants, but like the base layer pants.
Mhm.
I found those too new in the package, but I had to take them out of the package because I wasn't sure of the condition,
Right.
like if
Mhm.
like if something had seeped through just because it was cream. But
Right.
I
Mhm.
was I didn't know that about silk. So had no idea.
I'm telling you,
Learn
that
something
was
new every
that
day.
was the best. They were the best because they were like I said, they were thin too, so you
Yeah.
weren't adding bulk under your uniform or whatever, but
Heck yeah. I should have kept them. Well,
so
I guess I still have the
if
pants.
you're if you live in one of these states where it's already snowing, get yourself some base layers.
Well, we don't have the heat on yet in the house, so I might need those pretty soon.
I'm for real.
Oh, I know. Hopefully it doesn't snow here. I don't want it to snow. I mean, maybe just like one day, just enough to like make it look pretty. And then literally the next day I want the sun to come out and melt it all away and it to be dry. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
all I
I
need.
don't I'm kind of indifferent to it. I don't particularly like it. When I was teaching, this is the getting into December, you're like, "Can I have a snow day, please?" You know?
Yeah, I
And
bet.
then you don't get any then, but they all come in February and you're like, "This is too late for snow. I just want this year to end. I don't wanna tack any more days on the end."
Oh, true. Have you ever had to add did you guys ever have to extend your school period because you missed so many days?
Yeah, we'd
You
have to
know?
add days. It was usually since I've been teaching, what they've done with kids is the school day's actually longer, not by, hours, but, you know,
Uh,
many minutes. It's longer than when we were kids. And I don't know how that's a state by state thing, but in Delaware, it's not
yeah,
actually 180 days that kids have to be in school. It's a number of hours. So
right.
they end up being in school like 170 some days or something. And
Mhm.
because if as the school year is set, the days are set, they have enough built in that they'll still make that. So,
Yeah,
and we don't get a lot of snow here, so but teachers would have to make stuff up because we were days. Like we had to work like
right.
195 days, so
Yeah.
we'd have to make it up either at the end of the year or by doing extra stuff without getting paid, you know. So,
Mm. Yeah. I can remember, when my son was in school, I'm assuming it was because of the hurricanes. We would miss so much because of
yeah.
hurricanes.
Mhm.
They added one year they added on an extra 10 minutes of school for the rest
Every
of the
day.
year.
Right, yeah, to make up
And
for it instead
then
of the
one
days, yeah.
year yeah, and then one year when he was in elementary school, they had to go to school on Saturday,
Oh my
which
god.
was kinda crazy. Yeah, but we
Mm,
lived right near we, like, literally the school is in our neighborhood, like,
yeah.
it's in the
Mhm.
neighborhood, so it wasn't, like, a big deal.
Yeah.
But I thought that was strange because I don't remember doing that unless I just didn't pay attention, like, when I
Right.
was young, you know what I mean?
We never had that
Yeah.
here. Never had come in on a Saturday, but
Yeah, I couldn't have been too many days because 'cause I'm sure people were complaining, "Oh, we go on vacation or we go out of town or something,"
the
but
thing the
it
thing
was just
with it too is sometimes if there's I mean, it must have been a lot of days for that to happen because usually when
yeah,
a
that's what I
state of
think too.
emergency is called, you get forgiven those days. Do you know what I mean? Or they'll forgive a certain amount of those days.
Yeah,
So it must have been
that's
a lot,
true.
because like I remember one
Yeah,
time it was actually right after, like, it was like when in my early days of teaching, we had like a blizzard and it was like the end of um, it was the end of November. I mean, we had feet of snow, you know, and
Wow.
um, they they called school for the week because some, and it was like the whole state had a lot of snow, and some a school somewhere, not near here, but like a little south of us somewhere, like the gym roof caved in, and the governor was like, "No school
Oh,
for a week until everything gets cleaned up and everybody, you know, and everything is looked at and made sure it's okay."
right.
And we didn't have
Wow.
to make those days up. That was like she declared it, you know. Um,
Right.
but we did get a lot of snow, but we haven't
Ooh,
had anything like
sabotage.
that in a long time.
Wow.
I have this video. Okay. That school
Oh,
I worked
is
at
it
had like a horseshoe drive, right? And not much
they would drop
parking.
off fish?
They I'm gonna tell you, when it okay, we had a custodian, bless his soul, bless his heart. We watched him we watched him one time, like, nothing was ever cleaned up. You had to have a four-wheel drive to get into this school because parking's really weird there because we don't have, like, a big parking lot at that school. There was parking lot on
Mhm.
the side, and there was some in the back, and there's a hill,
Uh-huh.
and everything would be icy and covered over, and, you know, you're parking in the middle of that horseshoe where the buses go. It was like a whole mess. We
Uh-huh.
we watched him plow. Okay. I'm just gonna say that he may have liked a little bit of his of something something, if you get what I mean.
A little
Okay.
broccoli? Little
Well, yeah.
broccoli bites?
He was very green. So we watched him on the, you know, the riding lawnmower, they put a plow on it, right? We watched him go around
Yeah.
that horseshoe, and I have the video of it because I was like, I took video of it. He he would he would get to the snow, put the plow down, and put the plow down where there was just nothing, because it was like kind of like
Okay.
somebody had plowed, but he wasn't plowing anything. He would lift the plow up, and any snow that he picked up would just fall right back into it. And he did this. We watched him for like 15 minutes
What?
before while on our planning period before the kids came. It was such a hot mess. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
When he left,
What
the
was
new custodians, they were able to plow a little better.
oh my gosh.
It was like he would
What was
pick
he
up a little
just like,
snow and then he would
whatever.
like go 2 feet and just dump it in there. He wasn't moving it to the side or anything. We were
What?
like, "Oh, he just partook. He must have." That's why he had to retire early. They didn't fire him. They let him go.
Oh. I guess he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have work all I have so much work to do." He just has to I got so much work, guys. It's piling up on me. I can't do that. I gotta go finish plowing the snow.
Oh, let me
You
tell
know,
you.
that's just like that's the
They
equivalent of shuffling your paperwork from the left side of your desk to the
that's
right
all it
side of your
was.
desk.
It was just moving it from one spot to the other and not actually moving it off to the side. And one time when we were still upstairs in our rooms, and I think it was like conference day or something. So we're sitting there in between conferences waiting for parents to come. And so the door of the room we were in is here, and then the other classroom is like here. Like they're like 90, do you know what I mean? Like there's like a 90-degree angle in
Mhm.
there. So we're
Yeah,
watching
uh-huh.
them because it was somebody I taught, the social studies teacher. He had the little door stop on there that would you would kick down so the door could
It would
stay open,
fall.
but
Uh-huh.
it was
Yeah.
busted. It had to be fixed. So he put in, and they would come to fix. And there's like three of them there, and they're not getting anything
Oh
done.
my
So Brad goes out there, takes the tools from him, and fixes it himself. He's like, "Why? Why did I bother asking?"
oh my gosh.
It was
What in the world?
oh my god.
They were They were getting the part numbers so they could just order a new one and then go, "Oh, we'll have to fix it in, like,
Yeah,
2
it was
weeks when
just
it
falling off. They
comes in."
needed to, like, screw something in, like, it was do you know what I mean? Like, and tighten it so it
Yeah,
would actually like, it was I think it was loose and it wouldn't stay up, and it just needed to
yeah.
be tightened so that it would stay up or down, whichever position you're in. I was like, "Brad, you should've just brought
Mo
a screwdriver from home." He's like, "I don't know why I bothered to ask them."
That right there is the reason we do all of our own home repair projects and
Yeah.
stuff right
Mhm.
there, because you can't, like, trust other people, and then if you pay someone to do the work, at least how we feel, you pay
Yeah.
someone to do the work and you're still not satisfied with it, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
spent all this money.
Mhm.
So we do all of
Oh,
our
yeah.
own
Well,
stuff.
I
Like, we
mean
just did the flooring
yeah.
in our bathroom
Well, we do
ourselves.
that stuff too. I mean, we didn't put our own roof on, but we do
Well, yeah,
major
yeah. We
stuff,
don't do
but
that.
yes, but the rest of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you, my grandfather, my dad's dad, had a lot of job. He had different jobs, but he did retire from the school district I work at. He was a custodian at a high school
Well,
that's actually near me. And when I told my dad that story about them, the three custodians couldn't fix it, and Brad just took the tools from him and fixed it. He goes, "Well, that," he goes, "that that makes sense." He goes because he goes he goes, "My dad couldn't nail a nail
oh my
into the
god.
wall,
Oh my
let alone
gosh.
fix anything."
Jeez.
I don't know. You need at least. A custodian, part of it is fixing things like that. So you need somebody that has a little sense. It's
Yeah,
not all
I
clean and
agree.
it's not all pink
That's
sawdust.
true.
Thanks so much for watching, and check out more of our videos right here. We're flipping out.